right. Hello, everyone. Oi, you. Back down. I know you want to go for the... All right. Hello, everyone. Yeah. All right. Prue is still interested in the mouse, it seems. Can you guys hear me okay? Looks like you can just fine. All right. Well, hope everyone is having a wonderful... Obviously, Mauricio, you make good life decisions. I'm not 2 minutes late. You are 2 minutes early. I'm here precisely when I mean to be. Excuse the mess in the background. This is where our cat is being held. So, kitty cam. Yep. So, currently, what do you want to do? Are you wanting to... We've played. Are you ready to settle down? Is that a thing that we can get you to do? There we go. Love it. Love it. Except for maybe don't have your back to the camera? Okay, well. I can only do so much, boys and girls. I can only do so much. The cat's name is Prue. Cat's name is Prue. So Prue is coming from the Prue Prue Leith. She is one of the judges on British Bake Off, and we do that because she loves to bake muffins. She does that constantly. So she is a purring machine that just likes to bake muffins. What's up, Wilson? Yes, I have a cat now. Kitty cat. So I'm just going to have to start teaching her some cool tricks. Alright, I'm going to try this one time and see if this works. Can I get you to flip over and lay this way? It's going to be the exact same thing. Maybe I can get a pillow on my stomach. Get her to stay. Nope, I knew that wasn't going to work. Okay, hold on 1 second. I'm going to be... Yep, see, there. This is what she does. The little bacon biscuits. Yep. I can, Teresa, do... Yeah. My bot Teddy got replaced. Yeah, I know, hell. I promise Teddy will make a return. We can have the cuddle cam. That's what we're hoping. Where these two are cuddling together. You, come here. Yeah, you're supposed to be relaxed. All right, I'm going to let you roam around for a minute. There you go. Just stay there. Okay, so teratogens. So basically teratogens is on the move. All right, I'm going to put you up here. And then once she sorts... That's my water. Stay out of there. Okay, so teratogens basically are... things that influence birth. They're outside influences that come in and influence the birth. Generally speaking, this is a negative. We do not want this to happen. So things like alcohol will strongly influence, the development of the child as they are they're developing in the mother's womb, and this is causes all sorts of problems from intellectual disability to like facial dysymmetry. It messes with how they look, all that sort of stuff. Yeah, not good. Okay, let me... Oh, I should use the restroom. Look at that. Cats are, man, training dogs, you have to like legit train them to use the restroom, go outside, do all that nonsense. Cats, it's like I put Prue in the thing twice and she like walked out, and then I did it again a little bit later and she used the restroom. sweeped it under the rug, called it a day. Wonderful. I wish Teddy had learned it that quick. Well, I got Teddy who had already, when he already knew how to do it. Okay. Yeah, I know. Okay. What topic we will need to know for the quiz tomorrow? What topics? So you've got first thing, like motor development and physical development. You have cognitive development. You have social development. You have moral development. You have parenting styles, and then attachment. So we didn't really get a chance to go all the way through parenting styles, and then tomorrow we'll cover attachment in class. I will cover it again tonight at some point when someone asks me about it. I can do that. Yes, I appreciate that, Madison. I agree. I am right there with you. Normally, I'm a dog person. Teddy's been my boy for quite some time. So, but we're just sharing the love a little bit with this poor stray cat. Are you back? Did you need to use the restroom? Now you're back? Look at that. Good cat. Okay, I'll pick her up in a second. What do we need to know about the social development for the test? The social development, you need to know about Albert Bandura and the social learning theory. And then you also need to know about... You just sneeze? Bless you. Well, she's also still getting over some sort of cold or whatever. We've been giving her some antibacterial stuff, which she has not enjoyed. And then you need to know Erickson's psychosocial stages. Those are the things that you need to know for social psych, social development. Okay. Is the things on the quiz cognitive, social? Things on the quiz are the exact same things as what's going to be on the test. It's literally just, like the quiz is pre-test. It's basically just a practice test. So, Prue, can you not? Thank you. You have your own water over there. Get out of mine, you psychopath. Moral development is all the, yeah, very good. Object permanence. Moral development, Sophia, is all the stuff we talked about today. Kohlberg. Okay. The motor and the physical development was the stuff that you had to read. I got a cat yesterday. We found it in the parking lot. And am I about to lose this water to you? If you stick upon it, it's done. You just got out of the cat box. Don't do it. You don't even want it. Okay. The cat is... There we go. Look at this. Nice comfortable bed right here. Nice and warm. What if you just laid down? Wouldn't that be wonderful? Object permanence, very good. Do we need to know about the age groups each gross and motor skills are in? You should be... Yeah, it's just something that you gotta know. Yep. I would certainly have that in mind. This is asked... Yeah, okay. There's the next question. Yeah, see, this is what Prue does just constantly. She just bakes her muffins. This is... I mean, when that first night we got her, she just did this, Em and I were just sitting with her, and she was just baking muffins, baby. Just and purring up a storm. It's hard to hear, but she just purrs constantly when you're anywhere around her. So sure, I can go over object permanence. Okay, Farah. Does the cat still exist? It's hard to block her off from both cameras. Does the cat exist? Yes. That's object permanence. Your ability to know that a thing that is outside of your field of vision still exists. Are you playing with my... Yep. I had a feeling you were going to get... Don't eat it. Oh my gosh. What are you doing now? Are you making muffin biscuits on my shirt? Yeah, again, so teratogens, remember, are outside influences in the things that are outside that influence the baby's birth. It's going to influence how the baby develops in the mother's womb. So again, things like alcohol. That's why they tell you don't drink alcohol while you're giving birth, or excuse me, while you are pregnant, because it will get into the womb and influence the baby, and that is not what we want. Yeah, that is up for grabs, Teresa. That is 100% up for grabs. Yep, I can do that, Farrah. Yeah, okay, so for those of you who said industry versus inferiority, that is correct. Please do not bite on the wire. Nope. No wires. That's off limits. You might be cute, cat, but that'll shock you and cost me money. Okay, yes. Man, my wireless ones I'm gonna need to bring back into the fold. Are you after it again? What are you chewing on? We haven't talked about that yet. Okay. Yeah, brief. Okay, brief explanation of... I saw something. Okay, so the germinal stage is basically exactly what it says, where it's literally just where the sperm and the egg unite, and then the cells begin to divide over and over and over and over again, and it's just the first stage of development within the womb. Concrete operational stage, remember that's the Piaget's third stage. The child is gaining quite a bit of logic, but they still struggle with abstract concepts. So good with logical thinking, but not so great in abstraction. See how long this new kitty cam lasts. Okay. What do we need to know about the physical development? Like, what are the main ideas? Like how, like in the early stages, when is a person starting to crawl? When do they start to walk? So just those basic, like just kind of the basics of like, when does this happen? When does that happen? Is there anything over moral development? Hey Zoe, hope you're feeling okay today. Congrats on making playoffs, girl. Hope you're doing okay. Is there anything over moral development that was gone over in class that wasn't in the lecture video? No. Everything's good. It goes over. Yeah, the video does do Carol Gilligan, so you need to make sure that you know the difference between Carol Gilligan, the major overarching difference between Carol Gilligan and Kohlberg. Okay, cool. All right. Sorry, guys. I was just trying to rattle through all of these questions. If I didn't properly explain something and you still have a question, please let me know. So, theory of the mind is correct. Yes. Theory of the mind is exactly what we are looking for this. Okay. So, 4-year-old Maria knows that she has eaten all her peanuts, but she also realizes that Robbie, who cannot see inside her bag, may not know the peanuts are gone. Her awareness demonstrates that the Maria has, and very good, it is theory of the mind. It is that first recognition of, oh, hey, someone else exists. Their thoughts, feelings, and emotions are a thing. Okay? Very good. Okay, so you're asking, Emil, what are you asking me? Are you asking me to explain all of prenatal development? No, that's what your reading was for. If you have a specific question about prenatal development, I will surely help. But just asking like what is prenatal development is not a question. Okay. So again, a hill for Piaget versus Vygotsky, literally it's just those differences. So you are just trying to tell me what the difference between Vygotsky and Piaget is. And that's what that little article I had you read. Just the major differences. So emphasis, like Vygotsky thought more about like how culture influenced our cognitive development. So it's basically like, hey, your the people that are around you strongly influence how you grow and change over time. Okay. He also talked about language playing a more of a role. I don't see that coming up as a quiz or test question. Yeah, like so if you get the first and second stanza on it is the emphasis of culture and then emphasis on social factors, then you're pretty good to go. Vygotsky also talked about how parents could strongly influence a kid. So you have a little bit of both, where it's not only the the parent has a strong influence on how the child develops. So if you have a parent that is very involved and helps out and does a lot of things, boom, it's going to help the child develop more than anything else. Or not more than anything else, but it's going to be a strong factor. And this is what it's all about, boys and girls. Little kitty cat. No. Little kitty cat just napping. Just napping on your arm. Mauricio, I have no idea what you're talking about. Thank you, Mauricio. Love you answering questions. I appreciate it, bud. Yes, Shrista. 10 questions from Unit 7. So that's a couple questions over motivation, a couple questions over emotion, 1 or 2 from stress, and another few from personality. So like 3, 3, 2, 2, something like that. Yep, no problem, Burner. And by no problem, I mean well done, Mauricio. Okay, let's get to... Oh my gosh. College Board strikes again. Freaking booting me out of my quiz for no reason. Ugh. College Board is the worst. The absolute worst. Pull this back up. Let's get another question out to you. Here. What are we doing? Okay. All right, next let's take a look at Diana Baumrind. This is what we just talked about today. And I believe we got through enough so that everyone could answer this question. Yes, Burner, you should know the specific ages. Yeah, I can talk about that here in a minute, Hill. Well, we can use this quiz to do that. Yeah, Sharista, I'll open up these questions at the all the questions that I will open up these questions at the end of this. At the end of this stream, I'll open them up so you guys can look at them. But I will then close them like later. I'll close them tonight, so they'll be open and then closed in the morning. Yep. Authoritative was the only one. Certainly not uninvolved. Sophia. Which of the following parenting style that children raised in the United States is most closely associated with the development of self-reliance and confidence? Remember, what is the healthiest of the parenting styles? The healthiest of the parenting styles is authoritative. So we want them to be self-reliant and confident. That's like a good outcome. Okay. So let me go through all of the parenting styles. Let me see. I'm going to find all the parenting style questions I have. Did I put in any more? I might have saved those for the test. Oh no. I thought I had at least one more. Oh, goodness. Okay, never mind. The other one is also authoritative. That's annoying. I should have double checked that. Okay. So let's go through the parenting styles. Okay. So I'll just try to get a picture up for you. Get the spectrum. That's what I need. Get this graphic up here. Oh, well, I can't zoom in. How do you zoom in without... Okay, well, you guys are just going to have to deal because I'm not moving my arm. Okay. Well, let's make... Ooh, no. Don't change any of that. Okay. You don't have to see me. That is perfectly fine, but we cannot lose the kitty cat. Okay. So, when we are looking at our parenting styles, I apologize, I can't move to, let's see. Okay, oh, I know I got this. Okay, you guys ready? It's about to be some wizardry. Control, yeah. Okay. Okay, so what's happening here is you have an x-axis and a y-axis. Your x-axis is talking about your x-axis is talking about demand. How demanding are your parents? How much do they expect out of their child? Okay. Responsiveness is how willing they are to step in and like do something to be of assistance to that child. So one is how much do they expect, and the other axis is how much support do they give. Okay. So what this looks like: authoritative, high in response, high in demand, so they expect a lot, but they also give a lot of support. Authoritarian, try not to get these mixed up. Authoritarian is high in demand, but it is low in support. So the expectation is still there. Hey, you need to get A's, you need to be involved in all of these sports or whatever, but it is not all that. There's just not a lot of support there. The parent has those expectations, but they just kind of expect the child to figure it out on their own. You kind of run into like certain military families, especially those portrayed in movies and television, oftentimes will have authoritarian parents where they just, they have the super high expectations. You got to do this. And then the support is just not there. Like there's just a high expectation. Oftentimes you will run into authoritarian parents who don't give like their punishments don't fit the crime. So the child will mess up somewhere and the punishment will be like explosive, like just huge, where, they get a B or something in one of their classes. They're supposed to get all A's. They get a B and then they're grounded for like 3 months. Like can't go out, can't talk to friends, can't do anything. It's just like, whoa, like I just kind of goofed on this one test. And so just really, really strong response to failure. Okay. So then you have permissive, and permissive is high in responsiveness and low in demand. So not a lot of demand. They don't expect their kids to, get straight A's and, hey, just make sure you get home before, 2 o'clock in the morning and all that. But there's a lot of responsiveness. So whatever the child is involved in, the parent wants to help out however they can. And so they want to be helpful. So that is permissive. And then finally we have uninvolved, which is easily the most unhealthy, where the parent is just not active in the child's life, where there's always something that is more important than the child. Something is always being put in front of them. That is uninvolved. Okay? So, blink. All right, we're back. Any questions on that? Sure, Sophia, but again, we're talking more about the parent, not about the kid. The resiliency of the we're not talking about the resiliency of the kid, we're talking about the parent's influence. Memorizing ages, I wouldn't spend a lot of time memorizing ages for anything other than the motor development, but it is helpful to like have an idea of age ranges so that when you are trying to answer questions, it will help you kind of understand some of the different aspects. I moved a little, sorry guys. Sorry, Kitty. It'll help with some of the aspects and just give you a better like recognition of where things are or whatever. Good question, Hill. Let me put a question up and then I will answer what you have asked. Okay, so the major difference between stage 5 and stage 6 is the fact that in stage 5, a lot is influenced by the situation. So generally speaking, this person is very morally sound. They want what is best for others. They try to pursue goals that are, positive in the world. However, oftentimes those decisions are based on a specific situation. And so again, how is Kohlberg testing all this stuff? Well, he got a bunch of people together and he just had them take these moral dilemmas. And so all of these moral codes and levels are based off problems that have arisen. And so all of these answers are all just like, oh, hey, this is for a situation where things have gone poorly or things have gone bad. So that's why stage 5 is all about the situation, all about what's the surrounding circumstances. I've just figured out, hey, the law exists. I follow the law all the time, and then what ends up happening is we realize, oh, hey, the law is good, but not every situation is covered in the law. There are always exceptions to the rule. And then in stage 6, we kind of go back to this law, but instead of it following the law of the land, we're following universal principles of what is good, righteous, and just. And so instead of looking at, specific situations, we're just like, we take care of people all the time. And if you remember Carol Gilligan, girls have that sorted out, years in advance. They just, more evolved brain than the rest of us. Is there a difference between centration and egocentrism? Sure, Sharista. So remember, centration is the ability to solve problems from one angle, okay? Egocentrism is just saying that I can only see things from my perspective, okay? That's it. Egocentrism, I am just learning that I am a human being and I can only see from my own perspective. I can't see from other people's perspective. I can't see that, leaving Prue here for a few hours every day is probably a little stressful for her. I wouldn't be able to see that. I would only be able to see what influences me. I'm so sad when I don't see Prue all day, okay? I don't realize, oh, well, it's probably affecting her as well. So that's why I'm giving up my job and gonna take care of Prue all day. Just kidding, not doing that. I gotta pay for her food and stuff. Sophia, don't get too excited. See? I knew Sophia was gonna say something. Sophia, you're just so mean sometimes. I feel like you just don't. She is not going to be brought to school. Oh my gosh, they used to get away with that several years ago. Before COVID. People just brought their dang dogs, to school, a bunch of times. I know two teachers who brought their dogs every day. Crazy. Too late, Sophia. I took it the other way. I took it as a huge dig on me as a teacher and a human being. No, I agree though, girl. I agree. It would be nice if we could all just hang out with cats. Okay, good. Yes, this is specifically conservation. Okay? Good, yeah. So this is that stupid thing that I wanted you to get. Okay? Emil, don't worry about the fact that you said centration. I will not have both conservation and centration as an answer choice. Okay, so you are good with that. Bring it on, Sophia. Just remember I control your grades. Oh, wow. She got 40 out of 50 correct. Must be a 40. Easy. Hey there, Prue. How you doing? Doing alright, kitty cat? Language, please, Sophia. Language. Sure, Hill. The person would say, it's what I said earlier today. yes, I would steal the drug. And the reason why is because, look at the situation. I did everything I could to make it right, and the druggist wouldn't meet me halfway. Put them in jail. I can't believe, we're even having to do this. So, yep. Good. Okay, so real quick with this question. Okay. Pre-operational is correct. So let's take a look at this. Egocentrism, animism, and artificialism. Goodness gracious. Mr. Monk, we only talked about one of those things. Okay? So again, I have to remind you, we are in a class that is a year-long course. I don't have a year to cover all these bases. So we've got to go through a lot of different stuff. So I choose to focus on the things that I see the most. Egocentrism's on there. That's a big thing. That's what you need to know. Animism is another way of saying animistic thinking. There's just lots of different ways that people can say the exact same thing, and you kind of just don't know what they're going to say. So I'm not going to teach you 18 different words for all the terms. It's not always that is not always the case, but sometimes it is. And so I'm just trying to teach you the best stuff that I know. So I don't even know what artificialism is. No clue. Never heard of it. But very good. We're on pre-operational. Excellent. Love it, guys. You're doing great. Okay. All right, Prue, I gotta move my arm. It's dying on me. That's a good question, Sophia. I don't think so. I think the people who are in power are not interested. So, myself and many other psychology teachers have tried multiple times to make it happen, and they have not. What's up, Kat? What's up? Just moving to a new spot? Alright, I got you. There you go. Good cat. Okay, good. Integrity versus despair. You guys are on top of this. Love it. Yeah, generativity versus stagnation. Okay. So, my name's Mr. Monk. I'm, 20 years older than I am now. I've already been working at this job. I'm still a teacher. I've been working at it for 29, almost 30 years now. Let's just add an extra year. I've been, 21 years later. I'm 53. I've been doing this job for 30 years. And, what happens? What happens, you've never experienced this, but what happens when you've been doing the exact same thing over and over and over for years? What if high school was for 30 years? What if college was 30 years long? What happens? That's a crazy amount of time to be doing a specific thing. And you hear about people who, hate their job. Imagine 5 days out of your 7 doing something that you hate for 30 years. What are we doing? What happens? Sure, you get bored of it, but go further than that. There's no, you hear about, haha, midlife crisis, a bunch of weird old dudes, buying cars and, I don't know, doing weird, crazy stuff, but, sure, don't do that, but goodness gracious, they've been doing the exact same thing for such a long time, and they're looking for some sort of spice in their life. That's the stagnation part. If you're not doing things that are fulfilling and bring you joy and make you excited to get up for, imagine you 30 years from now. 30 years from when you get started. It's crazy. It's just, how are you functioning? And so this is where midlife crisis this is why it happens, because people just get so burned out of what they're doing, and they just don't do well, and they do crazy stuff. Now, generativity is the good side of it. Like, let's say that you marry, maybe you have kids, and you find a lot of joy in how they grow old. Or maybe you don't decide to have kids. Maybe you have, kitty cats, and that brings you a lot of joy. And like when you go home from work, you have things that you are involved in, and those things that you invest your time in bring you happiness. Then generativity is basically just like, you feel good about your life, like things have gone well, like things are going well, and even though you're kind of doing the same thing over and over again, like you get, you feel good about your life. So that's generativity versus stagnation. So it's funny. I'm 32, and just thinking about like, man, teaching for another 10, 20 years. Like, am I going to be able to do that? Like, if you'd asked me, 5 years ago, I'd be like, man, I do this the rest of my life. Like, this is the best thing ever. And now, 10 years in, COVID, and having to deal with you monsters, I'm not so sure. Just kidding about that last part. But it's certainly something that, 4 or 5 years ago, I would have absolutely I would have been like, I'm going to do this the rest of my life. And now, maybe. All right. Go ahead and get this next question. So this is what Carol... Oh, sure, Brenner. So this is what Carol Gilligan says. So this question is like, what is Carol Gilligan? Yeah. Yep. Very good. All right. Love it, guys. Good. All right. Next one. My birthday is not the 5th. No question marks. Only exclamation points are the only punctuation allowed when answering questions. We are looking for formal, okay? So I know that the letter of the law is, they can, like formal operationals, they can think abstractly, like that's the thing that they gain, but they're not always going to tell you that. You just got to think about what type of thought processes is happening. Do your younger siblings, those who are in the concrete operational stage, think even know what deductive or hypothetical thinking is? No. So they're not gonna be able to do that. So this is formal operational. Sophia, why do you want to know my birthday? It is absolutely no importance to you. I appreciate the sentiment, but it is barely of importance to me. let's just say that's fine. You can walk by my classroom, and so we will not be in school when it is my birthday, and you won't have me as a teacher anymore either. 12 and up. Life is full of sadness, Sophia. I wouldn't allow this to be one of those sad things. Lots of other things to be upset about. Maybe I'll be hiding. Like I said, we do not have school on my birthday. Come on, guys. I need you answering this question. Okay, good. You could just say post-conventional or stage 6. It's probably not enough information, but it looks like a stage 6 type thing to me. So post-conventional, that's good. It could be stage 5, that's fine. There are 3 levels and 6 total stages. 2 stages in each level. There are no specific ages, Sophia. And the reason for that is because you can have adults or you can have people of different ages that fall into the different levels. You could have someone that's my age that is at stage 1 in the pre-conventional level. It is unlikely, but it could happen. Yep. Okay, so what questions do you guys have? What's up, bud? Am I being too loud when you're trying to sleep? I'm sorry. Poor kitty cat. Life is tough. Stage one. Stage one is the person is just concerned about themselves. They are looking to avoid punishment or gain some type of reward. And then stage two, it's the, I scratch your back, you scratch mine. So I, help you with your homework. I'm only doing this because I expect you to come help me bake cookies later today. No, Fairy, you cannot. I will not. I am sure that I will not have everyone who has completed their quiz by Friday. So you will not be able to come back and look over it. Yep, physical. It is fair game on the test, yeah. And on the quiz. Yep. All that stuff is fair game. Don't worry, guys. It's just questions. Questions that need answering. Teratogen-wise, you don't need to know a lot of the specifics. You need to know basically what a teratogen is, and then you need to know, like, fetal alcohol syndrome is the one that I see more than it. I've never seen a discussion on a teratogen that was not fetal alcohol syndrome. So they don't talk about any of the other stuff. They don't talk about any other, like, drugs or anything like that. It's just fetal alcohol syndrome. Hill, I don't know what ARBD is. You'll have to try that again. Quiz is 20 questions, yep. 15 minutes on the quiz, 35 minutes on the exam. There will be maybe 2 or 3 questions on your personality. Because there's 10 questions over Unit 10, and then only a small number of those will be over personality. Yeah. This is what we've been building to. You have 45 seconds to do each question. I should have done it this way earlier. Right, you had 37 last test, and it was supposed to be 35. Yes, FASD is, fetal alcohol syndrome is the major one. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm referring to, a Hill. ARBD, I've never seen on a test. Yep, you will have 35 minutes to take the exam on Friday. Plenty of time. Plenty of time. Okay. Any other questions, guys? Okay, I will assign this practice You will not get to see your results. have 20 minutes to look over it. And I will close it Friday morning. Excuse me. I will close it Thursday afternoon. So Thursday at 9 it will close. There you go. Do not study too late, or do not try to study too late. Study early. Yeah. Albert Bandura's social development theory. All we're saying is that, am I not doing that right? Is that you learn, much of your development and learning is based off of how you observe and watch other people. That's it. Like, your observations influence you and influence how you grow and change over time. A huge part of your development, a huge part of your growth is just you watching other people. Seems obvious, but that's what it's talking about. So the thing is open, Shrista, and then it will close Thursday night. Tonight is Wednesday. It will close Thursday night at 8 o'clock. Or 9 o'clock. I did 8 or 9. Okay, so it will not, I think I closed at 9. So it will not allow you to work late into the night. You'll have to go to bed. Wait, so for the quiz, is it only stuff from Unit 6? Yes. As always, your quiz is only over the unit that we have covered. It has never been anything other than that. The review has just opened up on AP Classroom. I don't believe you can do it more than once. I think you can only do it once. It will not show you the answers to it. It is just practice. So I would not advise you hopping into it and, just kind of clowning around. This should be, it's the questions that we talked about. It is the majority of the questions that we asked tonight. The only other things are, are some questions on, she's licking her leg at the moment. The elbow of her back leg. The only other thing that we haven't talked about is attachment, and we will cover that tomorrow in class. Big stretch, cat. Bless you. Still sick. Poor kitty. Okay. That's it. Don't stay up. There's no point. There's no point in staying up. Like, remember, we talked about this. It is best for you to sleep and retain the information. Like, if you were getting most of these answers correct on this like little review thing, just go to bed. Like, you're not gonna, like, I'm sure some of you have to do some of your reading because you didn't do that beforehand. But if not, you should, like, just go to bed at a good hour. Study. If you want to study a little bit more, go for it. But you should go to sleep. Yes, what I lecture on tomorrow will be on the quiz. Always. Always, always, always. But it's fresh. Like, you literally just learned it. And if you have any questions, you can ask me before we get started. I won't start unless everyone knows what we're doing. The reviews on AP Classroom, yeah. And kitty cat's going back for my water. You have water. I'll switch out your water. Whatever you do, Ahil. Just because it worked. Did you just meow at me? I'm fighting words. I can't hear you because I've got my headphones on. Do you want that? Okay. All right. Miss Prue is done. Ergo, we are done, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for hopping on. That is completely understandable, Mauricio. I'm a teacher. I am used to students doing the opposite of what I tell them. That is of no surprise to me. All right, guys. Love you. Enjoy the rest of your night. Stay safe. Get some sleep, please. And otherwise, you all have a great time. Goodbye.